Awesome. We're live. Yes, I'm so happy to be live. This is the Beyond Cancer podcast with Marina. I am so excited to be here. I am Marina Blackford, and I'm not just excited to be here for the live, I'm literally excited to be alive. Okay? Let's just get that out there. Um I am a two-time breast cancer survivor of triple negative breast cancer. And I created this channel to help people on the cancer journey. And I continue to do that with the videos I make. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss when I go live. I do lives twice a month where you can come on and ask your questions and feel supported. So thank you for being here. I love to bring a theme in, like a little topic that is on my mind, on my heart. We'll talk about that, give you an update with me, a two-time breast cancer survivor, what's new in my life, what does it look like being a survivor, and most importantly, support you. So I welcome your comments and, first comment on, hop on whenever you want. All right. So I'll update you a little bit about me. Yay, first comment, Esmeralda. Thank you. I love seeing the comments. If you're uh, not able to see, if you're not able to comment on the live, you can always comment on the replay, and I see all of that. I actually have a ton of comments on my channel right now to catch up on, which I'm so grateful about. But I released a new update video this week titled Navigating Oncology Appointments as a Breast Cancer Survivor. So check that out if you're curious what life after cancer could look like. As always, I'm just giving you real tips and things that I'm doing that I think could be really helpful for you. So you want to check that video out. I think it's great. I think it's great. um I try to make the kind of content that I think I would have wanted, after my first journey, like being diagnosed at 31, never doing chemo before, having to remove my breast, due to being BRCA1, a genetic mutation. Like I that's what I think of when I'm creating kind of my videos, and then going through it as a two-time survivor, having cancer come back, and I had recurrence at 5 years. What does that look like? What does radiation look like? It's all here for you. So haven't if you're just stumbling upon this video and you've been diagnosed with breast cancer in particular, I'm so happy you found this, because you need to subscribe and you need to go to my playlists and see the videos that will help you today. Chemo, radiation, surgery, and survivorship, cancer tips. It's all there. There's some family vlogs in there, and I haven't done those in a while. And I'm going to get feedback from you guys today. So let's chat. All right. I have a question on here, or just some support, excuse me. Prashasti says, hi, Marina, in India. It's 10:35 p.m. watching you with lots of love. Thank you. Good to hear from you. That is the amazing thing about YouTube. I started this channel with a video on my iPhone with a, little $25 microphone. And I just wanted to put out hope for people starting chemo. And I'm so glad I continued to make videos, because I learned about how to edit and do things better. But I would be diagnosed again. And that's where my channel just, I don't know, it just pulled me, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with talking about being a survivor. But moving forward, I want some of your input. Um, I'll just ask it now. I followed a formula for a long time that really worked well for me, which was like 2 tip videos a month, a vlog and a live. And I switched that up when I became much busier with my little kids. They're 6 and 3 years old now. And I added in another live because I love the lives. They're my jam. I love connecting with you guys. But I kind of took away the vlog a little more. Do you guys like watching vlogs? Would you be interested in seeing like what a day in the life looks like for me? Like when I wake up, what do I do? Um, I'm happy to go back to that sometimes and see how they do. I feel like the vlogs are more for my subscribers, people that are not just here for the lives, but just want to keep up with me as a person. What is Marina Blackford, a two-time breast cancer survivor that has ran marathons after chemo? What does she do? So I would love your feedback. Let me know. All right. Prashasti says, "Hi, Marina. If you remember, I had told you about my mastectomy surgery. It went well. I'm so glad. Okay. But my arms are sore. That is so common. So common. And from Monday, I'm going to start my radiation. Okay. Um, yes, 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 yes. Thank you for updating me that you had your surgery and it went well. I love to hear, like, I love to have people one share where they're at, so we can like cheer you on. Um, just send you love, but two, to follow up with us, how it's going. It is so normal, I would say, to have sore arms after mastectomy. I mean, it's crazy. You're just thinking we're going to remove breast tissue, I'll just be sore there. But it's amazing how sore your arms are after. So, very normal. The best thing I can say is to slowly do things. So pain is going to be common after surgery, right? I mean, there's usually some incision involved and some tissue removal involved, whether it's lumpectomy or a mastectomy. Um, but because there's pain, I don't want you to do the opposite. Well, I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to kind of roll into yourself and get so protective that you're like, I just won't move until it stops hurting. It's actually the kind of the opposite of what you need to do. And so movement is okay. And your surgeon should tell you that. They might even send you home with a piece of paper that has some light exercises that you can do starting about 2 weeks after surgery, maybe sooner, but talk to your doctor. But by 2 weeks after surgery, you should be doing some movement exercises. This typically has to do with physical therapy stuff. And I'm not a physical therapist and I'm not a doctor, but I've had 9 breast surgeries. So hear me out. But there's a good one to kind of measure with how much your arm is getting better by just walking your hand up a wall. Okay. And we're going to hold it there to the point of soreness, but not pain. I'm gonna put my hand on my hubby's face. Just kidding. And we're going to hold it there for a little bit. And you're going to just do that like, right, 3 or 4 times. You're going to hold it to the point of soreness, not pain. And every time you do that after mastectomy, you'll notice at some point, your hand can finally go above your head. And it's such an amazing thing. And you'll get there. You'll get there. The goal is to like get back to doing like yoga or start yoga if you've never done yoga. It's the best. I'm getting back to yoga in small increments. Just because I just feel like time is sometimes a challenge for me. I don't know if it's a challenge for you guys to feel like I have like a chunk of time when I'm not doing something, but we all can make time, right? We all can. So I've added in like short yoga at night before I go to bed and now in the morning. And I'm talking like 10 minutes, guys. And wow, it feels so good. And you do this from an app on your phone, right? Or YouTube. There's tons of videos for you to do that. So again, soreness, normal, sharp shooting pain, not redness or swelling at a site after surgery, not good. Those things, call your medical team immediately. But soreness, it'll get better. Look at me. 9 breast surgeries here. I've had double mastectomy, lumpectomy, like implant removal, expanders, blah, 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 blah. All right. You got this. She does follow up by asking, please let me know what to expect during radiation therapy. Yes, I'm going to encourage you to go to my radiation playlist and check out a couple of my videos there because I think it's best to see me in that time of what it looked like, the skin, the redness, and whatnot. But for me, radiation was very quick compared to chemo. I wasn't nauseous like, you're always kind of dealing with chemo. So that was good. It is fatiguing, meaning you can be tired from radiation, and you'll notice that more as radiation goes on. I've done 30. So the first 2 weeks of radiation are pretty quick in and out, and you're not going to have a lot of skin irritation. By week 3, like the start of week 3, you will be having some redness and some skin soreness. You have to put ointment on daily, aloe vera and ointment, and you're going to alternate those morning and night every day through radiation from the beginning to the end. I also have products that could help on my Amazon store for anybody going through radiation. So I really encourage you to go to the description in this video and to check out products on my Amazon store. If you're in another country and Amazon doesn't ship there, you can still get an idea of what I'm recommending possibly if it opens for you. So anyways, I'm going to put my Amazon store link in the comments. There are products to help you through chemo, radiation, surgery, and running and getting healthy, and the vitamins and supplements that I recommend that are cancer fighting. There's so much gold there. WDC, I like vlogs and the lives. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I watch a lot of like talking head videos myself, like I on YouTube, what I consume. I like podcasts like Jay Shetty. I like Diary of a CEO, like people he interviews. So, and I'm a big fan of the Greatness podcast, Lewis Howes. He's good too. So, but you guys came here for me, and so I want to deliver me in a format that helps you. So I'm happy to add in the vlogs again. It's gonna happen. Okay. Lynn Gale says, hi, hello. All right. I have one more comment on here. Let me answer it since you took the time to type this out. JJ, hi, my name is Jen. I am 5 months post chemo. Yay! Currently on tamoxifen, and I just started on Verzenio. I had stage 2A, grade 3 breast cancer with a right breast mastectomy and reconstruction in summer of 2024. Welcome, Jen. I love hearing that you're out of chemo. Give yourself some time and grace still, because I do feel like it takes like a full year after chemo to kind of, just get an idea of really where your energy is at and all of that. Tamoxifen too will be a factor, obviously, for you, how you feel on that, and Verzenio. I hope things are going well for you. I hope you're finding a routine with being on that medication. And if you want to share any more, go for it. Thank you for being here. All right. A couple things on my heart. Let's talk about I have a big news. I'm not sure if I'm ready to share it. It's a big one though. So, okay, I'll just share it. As some of you might know, part of my story was when I was diagnosed with breast cancer the first time, the week before I had my biopsy, I qualified to run the Boston Marathon. And that was huge. Like, I set out with this, I would never run a marathon mentality. And oh man, I'm so glad I'm saying this out loud. Okay. And next thing you know, I'm signing up for a marathon. So I progressed as a runner. I started out with short running races, just something to do after finishing, school and being in my career. I'm like, what else is there? Like, let me just see what I can do. So it progressed to half marathons eventually, and then a marathon. And then I thought, why don't I try to qualify for Boston? So my third time trying, I qualified, and it was amazing. It's the fastest I've ever ran for 26.2 miles, like nuts. And then the week after is when they told me I had a mammogram the week before. The week after that race, they said, come back and you need to do a biopsy. And you know what's crazy? Looking back at that, you guys, is like so many people would have spiraled. Like, if you have a radiologist that walks in after you have your mammogram, especially your first mammogram, and it's like, I don't like the way this looks, you need to come back. Like, most people would just die. Right? Like, yikes. And then I was like, I come in on Fridays because I didn't work Fridays then. And the first available happened to be 2 weeks later, a week after my marathon. And I thought, perfect. And so I stayed the course. I just focused on that I had to run this race that I'd been training for 3 or 4 months, and been planning for 3 years really to do. And I stayed the course, and I did, and I accomplished it. And I have photos at the end of me smiling and hugging my husband that I was dating at the time. And then a week later, I had that biopsy. Isn't that wild? And then it was triple negative, and so on. So running has been a huge part of my story. It was my guiding light through chemo. And I'm going to encourage that you find that you don't give up on yourself. Maybe that's the message. Chemo, cancer, it makes us feel so scared, so out of control because it can't be, right? Like people die from cancer. And the thing about it is if we let it set in to the point of of fear winning, you'll get stuck. You'll get stuck. And I don't want you to. So here's what we do. Here's what we do after we've been told we have cancer. I'm going to encourage you to visualize that thing that makes you happy. Like that thing deep down. And for me at the time, it was like, oh man, crossing that finish line will be so incredible. And that's a very, external thing. And that's kind of even fleeting in a way because it comes and goes. Now that I have kids, I think it's like I love vacations with my kids. Like, I guess it's just focused time with my kids where I don't feel like I have to be doing anything else but hang out with them. I love it. So, that thing that makes you happy, that thing that lights you up, how can I embody some of that now so that when I'm done with treatment and when I get through this thing that's hard and different, I can do that. And when you really focus on it's not even a where, it's what you want to be, a runner, a good friend, a mom, a daughter, a son, whatever it is. When you really focus on your what do I want to be? Then you can step out of that stuckness because that's your motivation to take care of yourself during treatment because you are not, you know, Susan, the no hair cancer patient. You are only that for a period of time. And even if you are that every day moving forward, if you have to be on chemo forever, I don't know. You're still you. You're still Susan that would want to be the best daughter, the best mom, the person that enjoys taking walks, whatever it is. When you can envision what it is you want to be, it can really help get you out of that dark, dark place that cancer takes us. And this is a really tough message to convey because this takes a lot of work sometimes to kind of like get there. But I'm just trying to spark in you that hope that you are more than the circumstance right now. You are intended for more every day. And I think I believed that every time because I had to, like I knew I was. I was just like so thankful to have found cancer and had the chance to fight. I always thought of it in the most positive way. And I'm actually not going to apologize for how I am. If I'm the person that's like, "Oh, thank God I found it," then I'm that person. You could also be the person that's like, "Why me? This sucks." No, none of my friends understand what this is like. No, they don't. I'm sorry. But I welcome you here to feel supported with people that do know how you feel. And I welcome you to find the support that you need. Tap into your cancer centers, see what resources they have, if they have anything that could help you with your mental health, with yoga, with anything that's not just medicine. If there's anything there, and of course, come here. I'm happy to help you. I am the Beyond Cancer coach. This is what my lives are about. This is what my videos are about, and that I offer one-on-one coaching is about. Um, I'm trying to find every which way to make sure that you're supported because you deserve it. You deserve to live a full life. We have some comments. So back to you guys. This is why you're here live. All right. Thank you for listening. Genevieve, do you think the marathon was stress on your body that resulted the recurrence? No, I don't. No, I ran Boston. I mean, 4 months after finishing, my mastectomy, right? So 1 year after starting chemo, I got to Boston, ran it, and then, I didn't run a marathon until last year, like, the 8 years after that. So, um, Yeah, I no. No, didn't. It just didn't. What caused recurrence? Well, we did chemo and we removed breast tissue, but I did have 2 tumors, and I had one in that area, near where my recurrence was that was not seen on a mammogram. I had a tumor on the right in the right breast that we could see on the mammogram, but when I went for the MRI after that first diagnosis, there was a second tumor, on the left side near my ribs, kind of. So that was part of everything. But we removed all the breast tissue and sent it off to lab, and everything came back well. So, did they not get as much as they should? I don't know. But we didn't do radiation because you don't typically do radiation after removing all your breast tissue and doing chemo. It's not typically needed. So that's the importance though, of understanding breast cancers. There's so many different types if we're talking about breast cancer. Triple negative is about 10% of breast cancers and it's considered more aggressive, because it's almost always a grade 3, meaning it's very fast growing and very, kind of mutated looking. And so you want it, the good news is it responds to chemo well. So they have to do chemo to get after it quick because even though we can shrink a tumor and physically remove a tumor with surgery, cancer cells are so small and they can kind of like spin off a little bit into the body. And that's when it's called metastasized, right? If it's somewhere other than their origination. Um, so so, I mean, I guess I could say there could have been very small cancer cells that just weren't fully removed with surgery, and chemo did a great job, but this is the beast. Um, and at the time, they didn't have Keytruda or things like that they're offering now to even help better the odds of lowering recurrence. So now you have more options as well from when I started this the first time 10 years ago. So that's it. I just think it's that. It's just not all the cancer cells were gone after, unfortunately. Um, and I did have 2 kids, after that, and that can kind of feed the body in different ways. But that doesn't matter because I would have had my 2 kids regardless, and I had happy, healthy babies, right? So grateful. So when my son was 2, my daughter was 2 months is when I found that lump. Um, so I could sit here and dissect it all day for anybody watching or for your question, Genevieve, but, um, in the end, it doesn't change anything, right? I just had the recurrence, so it is what it is. And that thought might have entered my mind at some point, so I'll be honest with you, like, "Ooh, is this too much stress on my body?" Mm, it just doesn't change things for me. I mean, there's just not a lot of people ran marathons, but there's also tons of people that run marathons, and they don't all get cancer, so I can't correlate the 2 for myself. It's an honest question, though, so thank you. All right, Prashasti. My first oncologist plan was to have 17 cycles of and an immunotherapy, pembrolizumab. Oh man, could they make that one any longer? But my recent oncologist said, as I reached complete PCR, PCR is the new term they're using instead of NED, um, pathological complete response, right? Okay, in biopsy. So no need to take that. Any suggestions or thoughts? Ah, okay. Okay. So Prashasti is done chemo and it was planned to do immunotherapy after, it sounds like. And since there's been PCR, they're like, no, that's a tough one, Prashasti. I think there's a lot of factors involved there, which would include, do you have genetic risk factor? What type of breast cancer do you have to start with? Because there's IDC and there's which is invasive ductal, probably that. And then was it hormone fed, triple negative? There's just so many factors. So have them kind of break it down for you again with risk and make the best educated decision you can. And if you feel like you need a second opinion, that's always a good thing to do if possible. All right. Mom Fonta says, hi, sis. Hey. Hello. Mary. Oh, I'd love to see you on here, Mary. Hi, Marina. I'm glad to be on the live today. Cancer really disrupts one's schedule, but must not let it win. Thanks always for the encouragement. Oh, I love to see you on here just cheering me on and others. So thank you. Yeah, totally disrupts. But again, it's like cancer might disrupt because it's just trying to push us on a different path. And there's just so many different perspectives we could have about cancer because it's the whole it sucks and why does it have to happen and why does it have to take lives? At the same time, I think we just always have a choice of where we want our mind to go. I feel like we have options with what we eat. I feel like we have options with de-stressing. Um, and my faith that I'm wake up every day, that I'm here for a reason, that God has a plan for me and God has a plan for you. And if we just can let some of those fears go and just go through what we need to do to get it done, that you can live a full life during and after cancer. I mean, I'm here 10 years after being diagnosed. It's wild, crazy. Esmeralda, February 25th, had my double mastectomy. Now just waiting to start radiation. Was told I would get chemo pill or trial chemo. Not sure yet after I'm done with radiation. Yes. Okay. My mom had something like that. There's like Lynparza is one. I think olaparib is the other name for that. You can do it. It's not easy. None of this is easy. I mean, right? It's like, oh, I would just love to not feel uncomfortable in my body after treatment. Um, but you can do all of it. So radiation, again, check out my videos that might help you. Check out my things in my Amazon store. I just link some of the ointment. They should probably give you something at your cancer center like aloe vera. But the chemo pill, that'll be something to manage how you feel when you take it. And the best thing I can say is drink your water, drink your water, drink your water, and go for daily walks. These two things are magic when it comes to feeling better. And Prashasti says, yeah, my type is triple negative. Yes, yeah. Again, is a genetic risk factor for you too, Prashasti? I'd just be curious, but these are questions to ask your doctor. Radiant Fighters and Survivors and Supporters says, hi, Marina, love your message. Praying for everyone who is currently going through chemo. It is not easy. Keep going. Don't give up. Hugs for everyone. Thank you. I love that. Love that. All right, here we go. I didn't even share with you my big news. What am I doing? I was sharing you with some deep meaning. So as a runner, I ran another marathon last year. I ran the New York City Marathon because I told myself, my husband reminded me that we said I would run the New York City Marathon by 40, and I had the opportunity to run it on behalf of breast cancer charity. Like the stars aligned and I couldn't say no. And it was the greatest race I have ever done. I love New York City Marathon. It was just incredible running through the streets of New York. I cannot speak enough about it. It was fantastic. And getting the opportunity to raise money for charity is always a good thing. So here's my huge announcement. I'm going to drop it right now. You're the first hearing it. Last week, I had a subscriber. You guys realize how full circle this world is? I had a subscriber tell me, Marina, you inspired me so much. I signed up for a Disney World Marathon. And I think it was the marathon, but I'm like, oh, Disney World Marathon. That sounds like fun. So I went online and checked it out. Turns out that you could register last month in March. Registration was full. Of course it was full. It's super popular. I guess these Disney runs, there's a whole Run Disney thing where people run in Disneyland and stuff like that. So I thought, well, I wonder if there's a charity that you can raise money for. And there is. It's called Team in Training, and it's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Foundation. And I applied and was accepted to run the Disney World Marathon on behalf of Team in Training. And so I will be fundraising very soon, throughout the year. Any amount could help, but it'll help get me to it'll help me be able to run the Disney World Marathon, but it gets to help people with leukemia and lymphoma. I mean, this is huge. Most leukemia patients are young, they're children, and there are adults with leukemia as well. And I have a friend with lymphoma. So this kind of stuff just speaks a lot to me. So I'm so excited to announce that I'm doing another marathon. It is not until January of next year. So I didn't bring enough vlogging with my training for New York, I feel like, to the channel. So I'd really like to do that and just show you guys what it looks like to actually train for a marathon. And that'll be on here. And if you want to see some of that, subscribe. All right, couple more comments. And then we're going to wrap up our live today. JJ says, any tips on how to regain my strength and energy while on tamoxifen and Verzenio? I feel so drained on these meds. That's tough. And I have heard that. That's why I was curious how you were feeling. I didn't do them. I had a hysterectomy done and it did take time. I feel like everything takes like 3-month increments of feeling better, like 3 months to see, okay, how am I feeling now? What do I need to change? Like you have to make probably some major changes to, sleep habits. So, setting the ultimate sleep routine as best you can and knowing that at 3 months and then 3 months after that, 6 months, it should get better. And whatever symptoms you're having, please tell your doctor and see if there's any suggestions they have. You can sometimes change the time of day you take a medication. And there are other similar medications. If like one doesn't work for you at all, sometimes they can change you to a different one. So, um, just know that that's a possibility. Yay, I have Crystal on here. Crystal is a super supporter of my channel. I appreciate you so much. She says, hi, Marina, you look amazing. Congratulations. Woo woo. How exciting. Thank you. I don't know why I'm doing this, another marathon, but I'll tell you one thing it does do for me. It keeps me very accountable to my eating. I'm very big on eating unprocessed foods if possible. Okay. I'm a person. Okay. Right. But I'm trying to get a lot of, that's my doggy, whole foods in and a lot of protein in with plant-based shakes. So you guys will see kind of how I fuel for something like that. Radiant Fighters and Survivors and Supporters says, congrats, so exciting. Well, thank you. I'm going to run the Disney World Marathon. I'm so excited you're excited. All right. Esmeralda says, thank you. My dog's going crazy out here. Oh, I have more big news. Nope, I'm not dropping it here. You guys have to subscribe. You can't get it all today. Prashasi says, love and hugs to everyone. And Marina, you look even more prettier than before. You're so sweet. Thanks, doll. I appreciate it. I don't know if I'm going to grow my hair or keep it short. I haven't decided, but I'm just thankful to have hair return. All right, Bobby's Trapper Keeper. Congratulations on the marathon. Let's do a Train with Marina challenge at our own ability levels. I love it. I'm so happy you mentioned that. The first time I had breast cancer and I was about to remove my breast, I challenged people on Facebook to do 5 to 10 burpees a day for every day that I couldn't do them after removing my breasts, right? You understand, Prashati, like how, what? It took me a whole month until I could finally do like a burpee, which is where you lay flat on the ground and push up and jump in the air, right? It's like a workout. So I had people do 5 a day until I could do it. And people did it for like a month and they're like, can you do a burpee yet? I'm getting so sore. So it was so cool. So I would love to do a challenge like this to challenge you on your journey to walk like 10 minutes every day that I'm doing marathon training or something like that. We'll come up with something really good. Thank you for sharing my awesome news today. I love you. I support you. You can do this. There's life during and after cancer, and you got this. All right. Come to the next live, which is in 1 week, Friday, April 11th at the same time, 10 a.m. PT. I'll see you guys really soon. Have a great day. Bye.